A top Russian general gave some of the most detailed public remarks to date on Russia's military strategy in Ukraine, claiming the first stage of Russia's military plan is now complete, with their primary focus now centered on eastern Ukraine. In general, the main tasks of the first stage of the operation have been completed, Colonel General Sergei Rutskoy, First Deputy Chief of Russia's General Staff, said in a Friday briefing. The combat potential of the armed forces of Ukraine has been significantly reduced, allowing us, I emphasize again, to focus the main efforts on achieving the main goal, the liberation of Donbass. Ukraine says 300 in theater attack as hunger grips cities. A burnt-out Russian Tiger fighting vehicle sits along a road, the Z letter on the door denoting its Russian origin, as Ukraine army troops dig in at frontline trench positions to continue repelling Russian attacks. East of the strategic port city of Mykolaiv, Ukraine, on March 10, 2022. Ukrainian forces have fended off several concerted ground attacks, with Russian forces coming northwest from Crimea and via Kherson, and filing frequent missile and rocket strikes on. Rutskoy's remarks come as Russia's advances appear to have stalled around major Ukrainian cities such as Kiev and Kharkiv. Russia has also failed to achieve air superiority in Ukraine and has suffered heavy losses of personnel since the start of the invasion. The public and individual experts are wondering what we are doing in the area of the blockaded Ukrainian cities, Rutskoy said. These actions are carried out with the aim of causing such damage to military infrastructure, equipment, personnel of the armed forces of Ukraine, the results of which allow us not only to tie down their forces and prevent them from strengthening their grouping in the Donbass, but also will not allow them to do this until the Russian army completely liberates the territories of the DPR and LNR. Rutskoy was referring to the Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics, separatist territories in eastern Ukraine that Russia recognized on the eve of its invasion. Heavy smoke billows after a Russian bombardment on the outskirts of Kiev, Ukraine, Friday, March 25, 2022. With stunning speed, Russia's war in Ukraine is driving Western Europe into the outstretched arms of the United States again, and the embrace was especially apparent when President Joe Biden offered a major expansion of natural gas shipments to his European Union counterpart Friday. A man carries with a Carter toilet recovered from the debris of a psychiatric hospital damaged by a Russianing earlier this week, in Mykolaiv, Ukraine, Friday, 25, 2022. Russian President Vladimir Putin has stated that the goal of what Russian officials refer to euphemistically as the special military operation in Ukraine is the complete demilitarization of the country. Putin has said the war is going according to plan, but Russian forces have incurred serious losses. Rutskoy said in the same briefing that 1351 military personnel had been in Ukraine and 3825 had been wounded. US, NATO and Ukrainian officials estimate the Russian casualty count is much higher. Ukrainians claim to have destroyed Russian warship. 10-year-old has to receive heart condition treatment in schoolroom. Initially, we did not plan to storm them in order to prevent destruction and minimize losses among personnel and civilians, Rutskoy said. And although we do not exclude such a possibility, however, as individual groupings complete the tasks set, and they are successfully solved, our forces and means will be concentrated on the main thing, the complete liberation of Donbass. It is unclear if Rutskoy's statement implies a shifting of the goalposts for the Russian military, or just represents a change in public messaging.